Right, it is the 10th of November today. I don't have long up here today, but I will see what I can get done. The first job I'm going to do today is I'm going to get up a couple more cabbages. They have done incredibly well. I've got 4 left in. I'm going to pull up 2 now. The spare sort of leaves round the side that we won't eat I will give to the chickens, so they'll be very happy. And then there's just another couple left in. One is quite big and the other one is quite small, so I know that these were a variety. So what variety they are I don't know, because they're all a mixture, but I will just show you the 2 that I'm going to harvest and how to harvest them. Right, I'm going to harvest this one today and that one at the back there. The 2 at the back you'll see are quite small. Now you can either use a very sharp knife to cut the cabbage from the base, or you can dig the whole thing up. It's entirely up to you, or if you're lucky you might actually just be able to pull them up. Let's see if I can just pull them up. It depends how soft your soil is. It's coming. Right, there's one. Okay, there, and then let's give the other one a pull. There, that's a good size, that one. In fact, they're both good sizes. They're very firm inside. So that one's actually firmer than that one. You can feel there's a bit more give in this one. But we won't be eating these outside leaves, so I'll take these home and I'll give them to the chickens. But all you need to do is to just get your secateurs or your knife and just cut off right down the bottom there, and then this can go in the compost heap. So I'll take those home and I will show you in another video how I saute them, because I think sauteing cabbage is really good. So I'll put these in the box and then I'll go and find something else. Okay, now where I took up the cabbages, I just gave them a quick turning over, just to take off any weeds and just open up the soil a bit more. Now the next thing that I'm going to do are the leeks. Some are smaller than others. They've started to get a little bit of rust, but I'm not worried about that. Okay, I think I might dig some of them up now. If they do have rust, don't worry, just strip off the outer leaves. It's if they get that burrowing beetle, that's when you've got to really start to sort of get them up quick. But I tell you what, I might actually dig the whole lot up. Even ones that are small, it doesn't matter. Sometimes they can stay in all over the winter. It just depends how they're doing. These ones, I think the variety of these ones is called below zero, so they are able to stay in during frost and snow, and they don't seem to mind. They don't go soft and soggy. But because they've got rust, I think what I might do is actually dig the whole lot up and take them home. And then what I do with these is once I've washed them and I've sorted them all out, I'll cut them into sort of rings which are about half an inch wide, and then I just stick them in the freezer, and then when you want them you just take out what you need as and when. So I'll just show you how to dig them up. You may well, it depends how far down you planted them. These have actually gone down about 6 inches, so I doubt if I could, no I can't pull one up. I don't think the trowel is going to be big enough, so it's going to be the big fork. So just get your big fork in, don't get it too close, otherwise you might pierce the leek. Just pop it about 2 or 3 inches away, push it down as far as you can, pull it right back, and then hopefully it should come out. Now that is a very good sized leek. As I say, some of them are small, but you can see how far I got them down because how much white there is. It's always white when it's underneath the soil, so the further down you can get them, the better. So I'll just carry on digging these and then I'll show you what I've got when I've finished. Right, so that's all my leeks got up. They're all good. They're all good. I'm really pleased with them actually. I mean, there are some skinny ones, some fairly small ones, but there are a lot that I would class as decent sized ones. So I'll take these home. I'll wash the soil off the bottom of them, and then I think I'll leave them in the greenhouse just for a couple of days most probably, just to sort of to dry out, and then I'll either stick some in the fridge so that we can use them, or I'll chop them all up and stick them in the freezer. So these are always good to use instead of onions, and as my onions didn't do very well this year, because when I put them in it suddenly got really cold and they didn't like it, so I can now start to use my leeks. So there's a good decent selection of them there, so I'm really pleased with that. Now before I go, I'll see what else I can find. Now just before I go home, I've only been able to be down here for about 45 minutes, but just before I go home I'm going to dig up some of the Jerusalem artichokes. Now they come up like this every year. When the stems and the leaves start to go brown, then they're ready to come up. If any that you dig up are really small, just stick back in the soil and then they'll start to grow again next year. I have got smaller ones over the other side because I dug a load of those up last year, and then I've got some bigger ones here. So I'm hoping that the fact that these stems are taller means that the Jerusalem artichokes underneath will be bigger. But we'll see. They are sometimes quite tricky to find because obviously they're the same colour as the soil, and just be aware that when you plant Jerusalem artichokes they do tend to spread. So if you can try and keep them confined in like a big raised bed, that would be brilliant. I haven't, and I get some that shoot up on the grassy path every now and then. So let's dig these up and see what we can find underneath. Okay, right, let's have a go. Let's put the fork in and see what we can find. I'll dig those few up there. So before you dig them up, what you need to do is to just snip some of these off. Otherwise, when you dig them up, they'll end up in your eyes, which won't be very nice. Now these stems can go on the compost heap. They'll break down beautifully, but because I'm very short for time, I'm just going to fling them over on the side, and when I come down next time, then I'll move them over. Okay. Oh dear. Some stems are thick and some stems are thin. And sometimes under a thin stem you will get a nice big Jerusalem artichoke, and other times you won't. It's just one of those things, but I'm hoping that because these have got quite fat stems that I'm going to find some nice Jerusalem artichokes. Ooh, underneath. There's one. That's a good one. There's quite a few here. Okay. Now this one here it's a good size. I will keep that one, but that one is far too small. So I'm going to stick that one back in the ground again, and then it will reshoot for next year. In fact, I might actually stick that one in. We'll see how we go. These are nice to have instead of potatoes actually. Roast them, they're lovely roasted. I will show you how I cook them, but obviously in another video. So when you've pulled up a stem, if there's nothing left on them, then just throw the stems away. But there's little ones on there, so it might be worth just breaking it right off at the bottom and then just shoving what you've got left back in the soil. Let's see what else we can find. Oh, it's a frog. Oh blimey, that now scared me. There we are. There's some more. These are good sized ones, these are. Okay, so if you do break them up, split them, don't worry, you can either take them home with you or you can just stick them back in the soil. It doesn't matter because they will just sprout again next year. Oh, these are good. These are very good this year. Okay, right. Okay, I'm gonna, oh, I love that one. But I'm gonna stick these ones back in the soil like that. And then they'll grow again next year. So I will dig some more, but let's see if I can show you, before I go, if I can show you my little frog. There he is, can you see him? My little frog there. There he is, off he goes. Where's he gone? Oh, he's very, very well camouflaged, isn't he? In here. Very well camouflaged. I've lost him now. I've lost him now. Oh, there he is. Oh, and off he goes. Strange, the only water that's round here is from the water butt. But he must like it here because it's quite damp. And there's lots of leaves. So yes, he's a frog. The way to tell the difference between a frog and a toad, generally speaking, is that toad, their skin is lumpy and bumpy, and frog's skin is smooth. So that's smooth skin, so that's a frog. So we'll just leave him to pootle along and do what he does, and I'll see you in a bit. Right, well that's it for today. I've got some Jerusalem artichokes here. I've got enough, I think, for dinner, for one dinner. So what I do with these is I'll wash them and then make sure all the mud's off. And because these have just come out the ground, their skins won't be hard. I tend not to peel them. I'll just wash them and then I'll cut them sort of in inch chunks or circles just across. Salt and pepper, olive oil, and then roast them, or you can with other vegetables or on their own. Or you could boil them and mash them, but I like them roasted actually. If you stick them underneath a chicken, they're really, really nice, but not one of my chickens, because I'll get very upset with you if you decide to cook one of my chickens. Some of you have been asking how the chickens are getting on. They're doing incredibly well. They're very, very silly, as I'm sure you can most probably imagine, and I will be doing another video of them soon. But I'm quite busy at the moment, as I'm sure you can imagine, so I will get round to it, like a lot of other things, eventually. But I need to go home now because it's actually starting to get quite dark, and my children will be coming home from school soon. I did tell them I would be here, but I'm sure George has forgotten because he's got a brain like a sieve. Well, I hope to be down tomorrow afternoon because I'm only working in the morning, and maybe all day Friday, but fingers crossed that the weather is good. But I hope to see you then. See you soon. Bye bye.